Our next guest I met, and I knew I liked him instantaneously, Kelly Jackson. It turns out we went to the same university together at the same time. We probably passed each other, well, not in the
library.
Not in the library.
Not in the library.
At the Rail and Duffy's, and
That's right.
probably a couple of those other ones. Kevin Moret is our guest. Kevin, you are the owner of the Low T Institute here in St. Louis.
Yes, absolutely.
Welcome to Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back on to goof about Lincoln back in the 80s. But
Yes.
this low T stuff is kind of interesting. There's so much buzz about low testosterone.
Right.
We had a conversation a couple weeks ago about this. I had no idea. Your Low Institute is fully accredited, I guess, to say, and covered by all insurance carriers.
That's right. Yeah.
This is a real deal.
It's the real deal. It's a
Yeah.
treatable condition like diabetes or high blood pressure. It's confirmed by blood tests. It's recognized by insurance carriers. FDA-approved medication run by board-certified doctors. I mean, this is a condition that's been well known, but it's been undertreated.
Right. And so when somebody calls you up, what happens?
After we talk with them, we're going to bring them in and we're going to do an intake physical on them, because every guy between the age of 45 and 60 thinks they have low T depending on the day, and either do or they don't.
Well, what happens when you have low T? You're just sort of tired? You don't have any libido?
You're just actually, the most common thing these guys come to us with is their energy's low and they've put on weight. So if their waist size has increased 2 pant sizes in a year, then their body hormone balance is off. And the testosterone is low, or else the estrogens are high in their body. And so they're tired, they're overweight, they're sluggish, and a whole slew of things.
And so that's just natural, right? As you get older, your body makes less testosterone. Is that the idea?
It is natural. It makes less, but we're seeing a big imbalance in the percentage of people that have low testosterone. And some of that's because the extra estrogens that we come in contact with every day from plastics and just our environment. So there's a balance problem we're seeing.
Right.
You know, women go through so many other things when it comes to getting older and
Yep.
going through hormonal changes, and women have issues with this too. But so how do you fix this?
Well, what we first have to do is find out what the imbalance is. Just imagine it's like a teeter-totter, where sometimes the estrogens are getting high, so the testosterone is down in relation to the estrogens. So we're able to treat those and block those so there's a normal restoration there. In some men, we do testosterone replacement that we can drive it up to those normal levels, and then they roll back to how they felt 10, 15 years ago.
What I like about your system, Kevin, is the Low T Institute. First thing you do is they go see a doctor, a real
That's right.
doctor.
Yeah.
And when was the last time so many people don't get checked by a doctor? So the first thing you do is you run them through a battery of tests.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we see about 30% of our guys we're routing out to their family physician because they don't have low T, but they're having the symptoms of it. So we find what the underlying cause is. And whether you know it or not, most guys are not going to go to the doctor. You know, they're going to rub some dirt on it, and they're not going to go until there's a serious issue. They're showing up to our door for this. So we're treating the underlying low T, but we're finding the other conditions we can refer out.
It's also a man who says, hey, I've got low testosterone, isn't very socially acceptable in 2014, even though there should be nothing wrong with it.
No, actually, what's happening is we have to be on our game much longer. I mean, at the age I'm at, my dad was starting to wind down his career. I'm just going to the top part of the bell curve for my career. We have to be active. We've got to be sharp. So we've got to act and feel like we did in our 50s, like we did in our 30s.
Right.
Can it lead to any other serious health issues, having
It
low
is.
T?
Actually, what happens is your body composition changes, so the percent fat versus the percent of muscle you have starts to change, and that causes increased cardiovascular risk. That's going to increase risk for cancer. There's a lot of serious issues when your body composition starts to change. The worst and ugliest part of this is when your body gets a certain amount of stored body fat, that fat converts your own testosterone to estrogen. So there comes a point where your body's fighting against itself, and you get a certain amount of belly fat, and next thing you know, it's going to affect everything. You start to look and feel old very quickly.
If once you take the testosterone, is it therapy or I mean, it's not therapy, it's medicine.
Actually, it is. It's medicine that they take. And a couple things can happen. Certain patients were able to restore their lean body mass and their body fat back to normal. And then that teeter-totter is balanced, and they're not needing the replacement anymore.
Yeah, so some people, you're on it for a long time. Other people, you're only on it for a short time.
That's right. It all depends. Our goal is to treat and do the least amount for you and to you long term. But if we don't restore that normal hormonal balance, it's like a rock rolling down the hill. There's a lot of damage that happens month after month that balance is off. Some people need the replacement long term, but the earlier we catch it, we're able to reverse that.
Now, this has nothing to do with, what's the word I'm looking for? Cialis. This isn't a replacement for Cialis.
Nope.
This has nothing to do with that.
Actually, nothing to do with that. No, there's a relation between testosterone and libido, which is interest in sex, but it has nothing to do with performance itself. It's really two different issues.
So if you have a problem with performance, that's not a testosterone problem.
No, it isn't. That's more of an interest problem. And we work with a lot of urologists and with other specialists to help correlate that, because actually that could be an underlying vascular condition that men aren't even aware of.
Right.
So that's a bellwether sign for us to start to look at the overall integrity.
You
Is
also
it like a shot, a pill? What do you?
We have everything. We have all different kinds of treatment
Okay.
options. So we can do shots, we can do pills, we can do creams, whatever's going to fit within a guy's certain a lifestyle, as well as how fast their liver processes these. So it's pretty detailed in how we pick the right treatment.
what about side effects?
Side effects we have to manage. There are no side effects if you keep it within the normal healthy range. People start getting side effects and they say if 900 grams of testosterone is good, why don't we do 18, maybe 2,700? You know, as guys, we think twice as much is just as good. So
Right.
we take them to the normal healthy level, restore it where it was previously, and then we stop there.
Yeah. And some people, you've been on this yourself.
Yes.
And they kick-started you, and now you're fine again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was falling asleep at movies, falling asleep at stoplights, and I was up a belt notch about every 6 months. And
Right.
I was not on a good trajectory. So
Kind of like the
it's-
male menopause. Then.
It is a male menopause. It's called andropause, which is male menopause, and it's happening more. But also, we're seeing a lot more hormonal effects for women as well. I mean, we're seeing menopause, perimenopause starting earlier. We're seeing much more significant effects. We're seeing kids start puberty earlier. We're seeing a big hormonal effect that we don't really understand completely why.
Right.
All we're trying to do is treat it early enough so that people can stay healthy longer.
And it's covered by all major insurance
It
carriers.
is absolutely the way we do it. It is.
Yeah. How do we get a hold of you?
You can easiest is our website, which is lowtstl.com. I put an ebook on there that can explain everything you would need, your doctor would need to know. If you're under treatment somewhere, use that book just to make sure you're getting the right treatment.
And you have how many offices
We have
citywide?
2 offices here, one in West County, one in South County, and next month we'll be in St. Charles.
There you go. The lowtstl.com?
That's it.
lowtstl.com. Really interesting stuff.
It is.
Kevin Burnett, lowtstl.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.